I agree with you. This is one of the weirdest YouTube video titles you've probably ever seen in a while. But then a story with such a title is bound to be filled with a lot of interesting facts. It also raises some questions. What happened that could have made a teen do this? And how did he or she manage to commit such an atrocity? Well, keep watching to find out the answers on your questions and more. Welcome back to the Crime Lab channel. In today's video, we will be looking at the story of the teen who went from movie superstar to cold-hearted killer. Over the years, we've heard about the cost of being a movie star and how tasking and sometimes depressing it is. However, when these effects start making you consider murder or actually pulling it off, it becomes a huge problem. The same could be said for this teen movie star. The teen movie star in question is Ryan Grantham. You've probably heard of him from some of his most popular work, such as Jeffrey Augustine in Riverdale and Rodney James in Diary of a Wimpy Kid. The Canadian actor was born in 1998 in Squamish, British Columbia, Canada. He practiced acting as a kid and enrolled in acting schools. Ryan began working in the entertainment industry at a young age of 9 in 2007. At the beginning of his movie career, he played the role of Billy in his debut TV series titled The Secret of the Nutcracker. Apart from that, he was also featured in various commercials and movies, such as Undercover Cheerleader, Perfect High, and Becoming Redwood, amongst many others. There was no doubt that he was considered a movie star. Ryan also made a pretty good income from movies, to the point where he had a net worth of about $200,000 to $400,000. He was undoubtedly earning quite well for a kid, and he had everything you could have possibly thought of. Some people would have believed that he was doing just fine. That is, until he decided to switch careers and become a murderer instead of a movie star. Child actors are known for having physical, mental, emotional, and sometimes social difficulties. These difficulties usually stem from the pressures of stardom and being in the public eye. It manifests into issues that occur in adulthood. However, you could hope that these difficulties would cause a person to commit heinous acts of violence, let alone murdering one's mother. That is exactly what brings this young Canadian actor to our channel as a topic of discussion. Unlike most elaborate plots to commit murder, this one wasn't quite elaborate. However, it was pretty over the top. On March 31st, 2020, Ryan murdered his mother, Barbara Annie Waite, age 64 years, by shooting her in the head while she was playing the piano. According to other reports, Ryan had practiced the killing and even filmed the aftermath. What was troubling and made this murder plot over the top was that Ryan also had plans to murder Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau. Reports say that after murdering his mother, Ryan loaded his vehicle with 3 weapons, ammunitions, 12 Molotov cocktails, camping equipment, and a map depicting how to get to Rideau Cottage in Ottawa, where Prime Minister Justin Trudeau resides with his family. In a police statement, he described his intentions to murder Prime Minister Justin Trudeau, and the court was shown excerpts from his personal journal. Luckily, especially for the Prime Minister and his family, Ryan had a change of heart while on the drive to Rideau Cottage. He finally turned the car back with plans to perpetrate mass carnage at his school, Simon Fraser University, or the Lionsgate Bridge in Vancouver. These plans later changed, and he ended up in the Vancouver Police Headquarters to turn himself in for the murder of his mother. He pleaded guilty to the second-degree murder of his mother in March after initially being charged the first-degree murder. On the day of his court hearing, the court heard how Ryan had rehearsed the murder and even taken videos that were shown in court, including a 4-minute segment capturing in the hours after the murder in which he confessed to murdering his mother and showed his mother's dead body. He read a statement before the court noting that he is sorry, and he also said, "I can't explain or justify my actions. I have no excuse. It hurts me to think about how badly I've wasted my life. In the face of something so horrible, saying sorry seems so pointless, but from every fiber of my being, I'm sorry." While this sounded like a heartfelt apology, I doubt it effectively swayed the court's notion about him and his heinous act. His lawyer, Chris Johnson, argued that mental illness influenced Ryan's choices. Chris Johnson said, "At the time of the offense, this killing was not done out of hatred or animosity. It was done in Mr. Grantham's disordered thinking to prevent his mother from seeing what he thought he was able to do." The prosecutor in Ryan's case also produced evidence that the teen movie star was going through an intense depression episode leading up to killing his mother. He reportedly had urges to hurt himself and others around him. Referencing to psychiatric reports, Crown Prosecutor Michaela Donnelly said there was consensus Ryan was going through an intense period of clinical depression in the months leading up to the murder of his mother, while maintaining an outward appearance of being well-functioning. He was also experiencing urges to commit violence and suicide, along with intensifying feelings of self-hatred and guilt over his mother, possibly learning he had stopped attending classes at Simon Fraser University. Both psychiatric reports also said that Ryan had a cannabis use disorder. The report said that Ryan decided to kill his mother to spare her from seeing the violence he intended to commit. Crown Prosecutor Michaela Donnelly said while they may seem altruistic in motive, murdering his mother was a deeply selfish act. She said Mr. Grantham was seeking to save his mother from something he was going to do. That is something different than altruism. In presenting aggravating circumstances, Crown Prosecutor Michaela Donnelly submitted that in killing his mother, Barbara Waite, Ryan committed a heartbreaking breach of trust, she said. Barbara Waite loved her son very much, was an excellent parent, and in her mind had no reason to fear him. The prosecutor argued that using a gun requires significant denunciation in sentencing, noting that Ryan was an experienced gun user and former gun club member. She also highlighted that in the months leading up to the homicide, he bought a new gun, and even though he was aware of his struggles with impulses to commit violence and murders. Crown Prosecutor Michaela Donnelly said the circumstances of the case were closer to first-degree murder than manslaughter. This is because on the day of the murder, he had many opportunities to reconsider his decision as he loaded and unloaded his .22 caliber rifle, and then sat on the stairs of the townhouse for almost 15 minutes deciding what to do. After he committed the murder, he tested a Molotov cocktail in a remote area before he started the 50-hour journey to Ottawa to kill the Prime Minister. In Canada, second-degree murder charges result in automatic life sentences, and it didn't help that he also threatened the life of the Canadian Prime Minister. The British Columbia Supreme Court still has to determine how long he is to serve before being eligible to apply for parole. This is because second-degree murder carries a mandatory life sentence, and the period of parole ineligibly ranges from 10 to 25 years. With Ryan Grantham pleading guilty to killing his mother, he's expected to get a life sentence from the British Columbia Supreme Court of Canada. With the current criminal code mandate for parole ineligibility for at least 10 years, he might be in jail for the foreseeable future. The Crown Prosecutor is asking for 17 to 18 years of parole ineligibility, and it is currently unclear if and how his plans for Prime Minister Justin Trudeau might factor into sentencing. There are some folks out there who might be wondering how Prime Minister Justin Trudeau might have reacted to this shocking news, especially since Ryan Grantham had a clear plan to find and harm the Canadian leader. Until now, Prime Minister Trudeau's team and social media accounts haven't responded to the reports, although they're certainly going around the internet. I believe it is fortunate that Ryan turned himself in before actually attempting to harm the Prime Minister and his loved ones. This is a truly unsettling story for anyone to hear. Ryan Grantham's work as an actor makes it even worse and more likely turn more heads. In this kind of situation, his popularity will work against him. Thank you for watching this video. Hit us up in the comment section and give us a thumbs up if you liked the video. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more videos.